I am asking for your permission to sleep with another man.
I need time to process this.
I never expected a normal dinner to completely change my life. One moment, we were eating quietly, talking about work and bills. The next, my wife leaned back, took a deep breath, and said something that made my entire body go cold. She told me she wanted to try an open marriage. At first, I thought I'd misheard her. I actually laughed, waiting for her to smile and say it was a joke. But she didn't. Her expression was serious, almost rehearsed, like she'd been carrying those words for weeks. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I asked her to repeat herself, hoping the meaning would somehow change the second time around. It didn't. She said she felt stuck, that life had become too predictable. She said she loved me but wanted freedom and new experiences. She said it so casually, like she was asking to redecorate the living room. We'd been married for 8 years. No cheating, no explosive fights. Just a quiet, stable life I thought we both valued. Hearing her talk about sleeping with other people like it was harmless made me feel like I was looking at a stranger. I told her clearly I couldn't accept it. That for me, marriage meant exclusivity, trust, choosing each other even when life got boring. She just rolled her eyes and said I was being dramatic, that it's just sex and plenty of modern couples do it. That sentence broke something inside me. I stood up, told her if she went through with it, our marriage was over, and walked out before I said something I couldn't take back. I drove with no destination, memories crashing into me from every direction. Our first apartment, our wedding day, the nights we stayed up talking about our future. I kept wondering, when did we stop being enough for each other? I ended up at a bar we used to go to when we were dating. Sitting there alone, I realized how fragile everything really was. How one conversation could undo years of shared history. A stranger struck up a conversation, and for a moment I understood the temptation my wife described. The easy attention, the escape. But I also knew I could never betray her the way she was willing to betray me. When I finally went home, she was waiting. She apologized for the timing, but not for the idea itself. She insisted she loved me and that opening the marriage wouldn't change that. I asked her how I was supposed to sleep next to her knowing she wanted someone else. She didn't have an answer. That night I packed a bag. Living apart gave me space, but it didn't give me peace. I replayed every conversation, searching for signs I'd missed. Was I emotionally absent? Too comfortable? Or was this something that had nothing to do with me at all? Weeks passed. She called, she cried, she promised therapy, honesty, anything I wanted. What hurt most wasn't the suggestion itself, it was realizing she had been unhappy long before she ever spoke up. That instead of turning toward me, she looked for an exit that let her keep me as a safety net. Eventually I agreed to meet her. Sitting across from her in a quiet cafe, I saw the exhaustion in her eyes. She admitted she felt like she'd lost herself, that she didn't know who she was outside of being my wife. She was scared that talking honestly would mean losing me. I told her the truth, that suggesting an open marriage made me feel replaceable. That even if nothing had happened, the damage was already done. Trust isn't just broken by actions. It's broken by intentions. We started counseling. It was uncomfortable and raw. I learned her desire wasn't really about sex, but about her identity and her fears. She learned that her solution nearly destroyed the one thing she claimed to cherish most. It wasn't a miracle fix. Some days I was angry, some days I was distant. Some days I wondered if walking away would be easier. But slowly, through brutal honesty and painful conversations, we began rebuilding something new. Not the marriage we had before, but one that was more aware, more intentional. She ended the open marriage idea completely, not as a compromise, but as a choice. I chose to stay, not because it was easy, but because I believed growth was possible. Forgiveness didn't happen all at once. It happened in small moments. Her transparency, her patience, her willingness to face my hurt without defending herself. A year later I can say our marriage survived, but not without scars. Those scars remind us that love isn't just about feelings. It's about boundaries, respect, and having the courage to talk before silence turns into resentment. She learned that freedom doesn't come from escaping commitment, it comes from choosing it fully. We are still together, not perfect, not naive, but honest. And sometimes that's the strongest kind of love there is. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever faced a moment that tested everything you believed in, I'd be interested to hear about it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories about life, love, and navigating the unexpected.